Hi, my name is Henry Mack. I am the Chancellor for the Division of Career, Technical, and Adult Education here at the Florida Department of Education. And first of all, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today about CTE. CTE meaning Career Technical Education. It spans, in America, our K-12 system, which starts as early as the 5th grade, all the way up through our secondary schools, or the 12th grade, our 18-year-olds. And there are a variety of courses that students can opt into, starting as early as the 5th grade, all the way up through high school, that are career and technical education related, such as information technology courses, engineering technology courses, manufacturing, welding, health sciences, pre-nursing courses, as well as a variety of other clusters, including agriculture, supply chain and logistics, and business administration. Career and technical education also spans up into our higher education system here in the United States, which starts for individuals right out of high school or the returning adult student across 28 state colleges or 48 technical colleges that is overseen by the Department of Education here in Tallahassee, Florida. In Florida, we also have great public universities, the University of Florida, as well as Florida State University here in Tallahassee, and the University of Miami in Miami. My allegiance is to the latter. They offer baccalaureate degrees as well as graduate degrees and are themselves in their own right very elite research institutions. My role here at the Department of Education is to help oversee not the university system, but the public post-secondary college system, as well as, again, the K-12 system. So considering everything and anything related to CTE, but also importantly, often unaddressed about CTE or within career and technical education is adult education. Adult education refers to either adult basic education, that is to say for adults needing basic arithmetic or reading remediation, or those adults without a high school diploma, or those adults needing to learn English or preparing themselves to enter academic work at one of our institutions, and they need English for academic purposes. In the state of Florida, we have an alarming number of adults without a high school diploma, about 1.8 million adults. We also have a high percentage of adults that are barely literate or barely functioning at the lowest levels of arithmetic or numeracy. About 30% of adults ages 16 to 74-year-olds, about 30% of those are at that lowest level of functioning. And I say that because it is a key focus of our state and of our governor. Here in Florida, Governor DeSantis has charged us with becoming #1 in workforce education by 2030. And that means not only attending to our students in the K-12 system, but also the post-secondary education system, but those adult learners that have found themselves displaced or marginalized or outside the traditional education system. And so it's our duty really to try and reach into the margins and into the neighborhoods and communities and re-engage those adults in their adult general education coursework, but also try to link it with valuable career and technical education learning experiences. Why does CTE matter so much? Really, it has been the priority of the past administration here in the United States and the current one, because career and technical education effectively means applied learning. And the more that we apply our learning, the higher success rates, the higher graduation rates, and the higher placement rates we realize. In other words, applying learning earlier on and talking about CTE earlier on realizes benefits and gains in the long run, both for the individual, but also for society. So that's why CTE matters, because fundamentally, I would argue it is the best route to economic mobility and self-sufficiency. And again, that has benefits both for the individual student as well as for society as a whole. The emphasis, again, on CTE here in Florida and in America, generally speaking, is important not only because of the successes associated with the learning, but also because our economy depends upon it. The future of the Florida economy, at least, depends on highly skilled workers. Though in Florida, we don't want to just technically train, We want well-rounded individuals. We want individuals who can think critically, who can think liberally, who can think creatively and empathetically. So the goal here in Florida is not only to emphasize CTE because of how important it is for the Florida economy, but also to do so within the context of the traditional sort of liberal arts framework. Since again, we don't want to just churn out technically trained graduates, but we want citizens. We want informed thinkers, compassionate actors. And so here in Florida, at least, we've been talking about how it's a both and proposition. And that's sort of also the other value of CTE, is that it gets you both the kind of talent that the economy needs, but it also is graduating citizens and individuals who can think critically and contribute meaningfully to society and inform debate. Here in Florida, the trends in jobs, much like else in the United States, although the Florida economy is rather large, I think the 17th largest economy in the world. Our key industry sectors are supply chain logistics, healthcare, health sciences, information technology, manufacturing, and aviation. So we're seeing trends in those sectors. Our unemployment rate is down as it relates to last year this time, given the COVID pandemic, principally because Florida has emphasized the fact that everyone has a right to run their business. Parents have a right to send their children to school should they opt into that. And thankfully, the Florida economy still is humming. And it is important for the education system, at least, and for CTE, to appreciate the trends in the economic labor market so that we are attuning the post-secondary system to graduate the kind of talent that the economy needs. And here's probably the last point that I want to emphasize here in Florida. One of the most progressive and fascinating things that has been happening here in the state of Florida has been our attempt to assess the quality of our CTE programs by doing a deep dive into the individual programs themselves and asking the institutions if those programs are completing students at a high enough rate. Are they getting placed? Is what is being taught aligned to what is needed in the labor market? And do we have a sufficient number of programs out there meeting labor market demand and labor market needs? And so we have, as a result of Executive Order 1931, started an audit of all of our programs across all institutions in the state of Florida. And it's been a monumental undertaking, but a wonderful one at that, to ensure that there is, again, that ROI, that return to the student in the long run. In other words, we want students being informed of their choice and investing in a higher education so that they can ultimately get the job that they desire without the debt associated with oftentimes higher education, and to, again, meet the demands of the Florida economy. So it has been great to be with you today. Really appreciate the opportunity. As a Chancellor for Career and Technical Education, I sit in partnership with the Chancellor of the Florida College System Institution, Kathleen Hebda. Her predecessor is David Armstrong, and has really in part owed to him been so inspired by his mission and his clarion call around higher education and access to post-secondary education and training that I personally got into the business of higher education and state administration. I also sit here at the Department of Education with the Commissioner, who is over the entire state of Florida for educational purposes, Commissioner Richard Corcoran, and then our Governor Ron DeSantis. And so on behalf of everyone here at the department, it's great to be with you and looking forward to seeing and speaking with you and answering any questions that you might have. Thank you.